Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for popping by here and welcome to the fourth episode in the 3D False Matrix program series where we are investigating limited beliefs and shifting to something that's just much more beneficial. So today I'm very excited about this topic. I feel it has huge potential on this planet to assist so many of us, myself included. And what we're talking today is sickness and health. So in the 3D False Matrix program, we have this idea that we can become sick. Our body can become sick, whether that's a simple cold, flu kind of sickness, or something more drastic, a disease, or like an issue or an ailment, or literally any health issue. It's the belief that this is just even possible. And when we shift to the 5D original matrix side, we see perfect health. No sickness in the body, not even like external things like broken limbs or this kind of thing. It's just perfect health. So we're gonna get into why this is and how we can make the shift back to the original 5D way of living. And so yeah, one of the interesting things that came to my mind was that there's so many other planets with civilizations on them, like so many I can't even begin to describe. And as far as I know, the vast majority, if not all of them, every being is perfectly healthy on these planets. And I'm not talking like a few planets, I'm talking like billions of planets, like or more trillions. It's a lot, and it's very interesting that we have this thing on Earth that we call sickness, because for most of the galaxy and the universe, they don't have this problem. They don't have this idea, we're gonna call it. So yeah, we're gonna get into it and why we created this to learn, and that because with all these things, we're not blaming anyone. We created this challenge for ourselves to learn, to grow, to come back to who we are. So yeah, so let's start off on that 3D side. And the wild thing about this is it kind of came out of the last video in which we talked about belonging and how when we want to belong, we often self-abandon. So we do things so that we think others will like us more if we do something else. And why do we do that? For love, attention, and affection. So when we think of sickness, we realize that all sickness and all health issues are a manipulation of self-pity victim. So I'll say that again because it's very important to understand this. All sickness and all health issues are a manipulation of self-pity victim. Why? Why? It's because we are taught that we get love from outside. And when we were very little, we noticed when adults had an illness or something, they would get more attention and more love. And so we adopted this. So the whole reason why we ever get sick or have any ailment, pains, whatever, is to get more love from the outside world. So it's a very innocent thing. People just want more love, and they've just been taught that if they're the victim, or you can think of it as being helpless, that they'll get more love and attention from others. And you can really see this as people age and there's less people in their life to give them that love, and they haven't tapped into it inside yet. And so they start having these health issues so that they can get love and attention that they're craving. And it's a really slippery slope, because when people don't know how they're creating their reality from your vibration creates your reality. And how does that work? Well, your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, the words you speak, the things you do, all adds to your vibration. And our reality is basically our vibration to like mathematical precision. And so if people don't realize this and they're focused on problems, or say worrying about the future, worrying energetically is literally like wishing for a negative future. It's like wanting harm for yourself is what worrying is on a vibrational level. So if people don't understand how they're creating their reality, they're going to be worrying and focused on negative outcomes, and then maybe not those exact things come true, but some sort of like variation of it, or something happens. And really, if someone is in victim mode, anything can happen to make them feel more victimized. Or if they feel they're helpless, something would happen to make them feel more helpless. And it's not that they're victim or helpless, it's because they're such a powerful creator, and that creation doesn't judge us. And if we say, I want to be a victim of something, then we get that. So I feel it's really empowering to realize how we're creating this reality. And the reason I bring that up, it's like someone who, say, gets a cancer, and they're so focused on this cancer, but they don't realize that their focus creates their reality, and how they feel creates their reality, and they feel bad and they're focused on this disease, and it doesn't fix the problem at all. It just perpetuates it and makes it worse. But if they focused on a version of themselves that was completely healthy, completely free of cancer, focus on that and feel into that, a body that's completely healthy and free of that, then that has a much, much higher chance of becoming their reality. Of course, there's other things involved, like beliefs, programming, but what I'm saying is, if someone takes responsibility of their consciousness, they can get rid of any disease, any ailment, and sometimes we do have in our soul plan to have a certain thing to overcome, and so it kind of gets into that kind of territory. But as like a 99% rule, 99% of things can be solved internally by focus, feeling, vibration. So yeah, so that's the very good news. And so we want to shift out of this idea that we're looking for love from the external, because that's what gets people into this whole victim mode, being sick and having health issues to begin with, is that they're trying to get love and affection from the external world. So this is where we shift into the 5D, the original way of living. And in this perspective, you could say, we know that love comes from inside of us. So we no longer are looking for it outside. Like, imagine if children learn to look for love inside. They never get sick to begin with, because the only reason they are sick is because they're wanting affection and attention and love. And of course, the 99% rule, maybe 1%, you get a little bug and your body is getting rid of it. But the majority of the time, it's about love. We all are craving this, and we just don't realize that it is within us, not outside of us. Of course, we can get love from outside, but I promise you, the love that comes from inside is infinite. It is so pure, so, of course, I want to say the word unconditional, but it's indescribable, the feeling that you get from inner love. We could call it self-love. And so when we realize that we don't have to be sick to get love from others, we can generate this within. And the interesting thing that also came to my mind as I was preparing this, just taking some notes for this, was that often when we're growing up, we do get to that space of maybe some feeling self-love, feeling so good, feeling happy, and then someone around us cuts us down. And it kind of reinforces this fact that, oh, I need to be the victim to get love. Or I need to have my life not going so good to get love. And this has been a real struggle for me too, because of the programming that I've had. It's like weirdly hard to even interact with my parents without having to say some like difficult thing or something that's happening. And of course, we all have challenges and whatnot, but we can look at it from a creation standpoint rather than a victim standpoint. And that creation standpoint is that I am creating this challenge to grow and be better, and to not focus on the negatives, but focus on all the positives coming out of the challenge. So back to this health thing. So we've established that in sickness, people are just looking for love outside of themselves, and it's a manipulation of self-pity victim. And health, we've found love inside of ourselves. And once we do that, we realize, wait a minute, we're not the victim. And if we're not the victim, that means that no one is guilty. And if no one is guilty, we're not condemning anyone anymore. And we start to let go of these past hurts, these different things that we've been carrying around on us. And that's forgiveness in a nutshell. And so you can see forgiveness is not for others, it's for you. It's to free yourself of this guilt you put onto others. And we all do it. So don't feel bad, don't feel guilty about putting guilt. It's all a learning process. That's what this journey is about. It's about learning, growing, evolving. And so once we start releasing this, I've found that my higher self will just keep bringing more and more things up to release. And it gets to a point where fear becomes like your best friend, because it's just letting you know, oh, what do I need to release next? What do I need to get out of my system? And so in this journey where you're coming to this 5D side and you're releasing this, you're forgiving and letting it go, you realize that all those hurts and all that, those unwanted or negative things that happened to you, you were the script writer, and you were the one who chose those experiences, and you were the one who agreed to be hurt in that way to learn something. And so it becomes just so much easier to accept it and let it go, coming from that perspective. Because from the victim perspective, you think, oh, these people did these things to me and it's so bad, and I'm so hurt, and this kind of thing that we've all been through that. But when we come to the creation, we say, oh, I scripted this character into my life to hurt me in this way so I could learn this. And you realize that everyone in your life are actually helpers. All these bad people are actually helpers in your evolution. And you begin to realize that everyone is just helping you. And then when you're feeling that love inside, you realize that that love is within every other being too. And so it completely shifts your reality, and as you're coming into that side of love, and you're letting go of the fear, you realize you can't be hurt. Like the essence of you can't be sick, that this sickness or ill health or hurting yourself was just an idea to reinforce this idea of being a helpless victim to get love. But when you feel that love inside and you realize that you're choosing everything in your experience for yourself, and you don't have to choose what others choose. If someone else chose to have cancer in your family, doesn't mean you have to choose that, because you realize that you are the creator. You are the creator of your reality. And being the creator of your reality has ripple effects of so much love and positivity into everyone else's reality as well when you get to that point, and as you're growing too. So it's all a beautiful kind of wave effect out that is yeah, I feel like one of that other people who are conscious have helped me to wake up and to grow, and thanks to them, and people that I don't even know of, I feel have helped me in huge ways. And it's just because when one of us starts to realize these things, it just elevates the whole, regardless of if we know each other or not. So yeah, it's really cool. Like that's a really fun thing to think about. So I guess the reason I bring that up is to let you know, if you are working on yourself and you're making this shift into the creator mode, finding that love inside of you, that you are helping so many more people than you realize. You know, we can make YouTube and share and whatnot, but doing the work is helping just a huge amount of people. Like you have the greatest reach with your vibration, and so even if you never make a YouTube, never make a post, if you're doing this work, you're going to be helping millions or more. So I just want to give you that encouragement that just by doing that work, you're doing such a service to humanity, to this planet, to the solar system, to the galaxy, and to the universe. So yeah, I feel like I should leave it there, but I'm just so thankful for you who are checking this out, and I just wish that this video will benefit you and your loved ones, and just as many people as it can benefit. That would be amazing. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye bye.